I used to work very monotonous, repetitive jobs like you're talking about, and it's kind of hard to be happy when you're doing that. On the other hand, there's ways to make you happy doing repetitive stuff that seems very menial that way. And I don't know, I'm curious of your thoughts on that.
Well, I've done monotonous jobs growing up, and even when I started my career over here living in New York, I worked, construction, demolition, but I want to be the best, on doing, putting up a sheetrock. I became number one, or with the demolition, I became the number one with a sledgehammer. I wanted to be the best one. I wanted to stick out. I wanted to be promoted. So for me, it was, or even driving a van with bread to different shops in New York. But I was number one. I wanted to be the best.
You know what? It is
bread delivery in Brooklyn Heights. I wanted to be the best one. And I succeeded.
It's interesting. When you do come across, we never really think about this, but when you come across one of those people and you run across people doing jobs all day long, because you're living in a society surrounded by people that are doing jobs, and sometimes they're coming to your house and doing something. Sometimes you encounter them in their store, workplace, airport, whatever. When you see someone who's doing what you consider a sort of thankless, kind of menial, kind of boring, like, well, here's what you would end up doing if you never studied in high school and you didn't go to college. This is what you would end up doing. And you see one of those people, you don't see them often, but you see them and they're really into it. Like every once in a while, you'll get the guy who drives the shuttle at the airport.
Yes,
and
I just had that guy.
He's 67 years old, and you go, dude, you should be fucking miserable. And he's up on his feet and he's helping
like,
people.
Terminal 6, Terminal 7, he's like, coming up on so-and-so.
That guy's
making the announcements.
I guarantee that guy's happier than other people you think have really killer jobs who are always put upon and semi-miserable about what they're doing, even if it's in an amazing environment. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. No, those people are, even with when I'm home and I get the mail, which is like rare, maybe it's a dying form of handing out letters, but the mailman is here. I usually open the door, even in COVID, with a mask, saying, thank you. Awesome. I got the mail today. And it cheers him up or her, and we become friends. And I always give them a little gift for the holidays and stuff. Even people picking up the garbage, I make a little Christmas gift or Easter gift. And they appreciate it, and it makes them happy. You have to spread, even if you do monotonous jobs, you can be sharing with them, that they're doing something that gives you some pleasure in life too. I love to get mail. You only get emails these days. So even if I get like the crap, I open it up and I read it and I toss it.
Oh, value pack.
Yeah.
Penny saver.
Yeah. But it is, every people I work with, even on the set, I was brought up in theater, and in theater where I grew up in Sweden at the National Theater, which all European countries have, like a national theater or national ballet or opera. But at the theater, it was one thing going to the academy that people said, my teachers said, you have to learn the names of the people working down at the front desk and all the people doing, the stage work behind you, those guys and girls working on stage hands. Learn their names as fast as you can. Address them with a name. Show them respect. Without them, you wouldn't be there in the limelight. So that's how I was brought up, and if I hadn't been lucky just to walk away from my village, I would have been a mailman in my home village, I know. And I would appreciate that people came out and said, thank you, Pete. That's great. I got some letters today, not just bills. So it's an attitude of life. I was born like a positive soul, and I can't wash it away. And it grows on me. And I see a lot of negative people. And I always try to tell them, try to be positive. We need people who carrying the torch of light. We don't need the naysayers.
You know who else really loved their dog and listened very intently to their dog? David Berkowitz, son of Sam Killer. Yes, his dog told him to kill. And I'm worried that we're going to be on a flight and your dog's going to whisper to you, just open the hatch. Just a crack. I got to take a piss. Is that where you want to end up? With David Berkowitz? Because that's the company you're in.